30 seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, yo? Welcome back to another video. I'm Anish, and I'm joined here with Joel. And today we're here talking about the Jalen Green press conference that happened earlier today. And we have a lot of interesting quotes. So if you're a Jalen Green fan, you're going to be excited to hear what we have to say. So Jalen Green confirmed he finished his Houston workout yesterday and would be excited to join the Rockets. So that's nice to hear, obviously. We kind of heard the Mobley news that the Rockets were unable to work out with him, but with Jalen Green we have, so it kind of is looking like all the signs are pointing towards us drafting Jalen Green.
And with the Jalen Green, the potential of him potentially being drafted here, he also does say that he thinks that the Rockets have superstar talent, and I think he's kind of echoing what Rockets fans are believing in that, with Kevin Porter Jr., Christian Wood, these are guys who have that ability to be superstars, and he sees that view as well. And if he joins here, he obviously joins that collection of superstar talent in Kevin Porter Jr. and Christian Wood.
Yeah, I think all three of those guys, Jalen Green, Christian Wood, and Kevin Porter Jr., are going to be exciting to see their progress over the next few years. And with Silas's coaching, it'll be awesome to watch. And Jalen Green says that the Rockets are an exciting team. They get out and run. They play hard. I think it would be a good fit if it happened. And I think those qualities that he just described about the Rockets fit him as well. And I think everything about Jalen Green and KPJ being friends, having that chemistry, I think that it just all makes so much sense. And Jalen Green on this team, he would be a great fit. I mean, we talked about Mobley being fit. Jalen Green would also be a nice fit. He would be that dominant scorer that we need. The Rockets this past season, there were some stretches where we've been scoreless, and so Jalen Green would obviously provide that boost in scoring. And we're gonna also go over the areas that he's working on improving as well. And I think it would be exciting to see Jalen Green just thrive on the Rockets this next season.
Yeah, and just elaborating a little bit more on that, his athleticism, his speed and transition, his quick first step, all of this fits the Rockets and their quick pace of play. Obviously, with John Wall, Kevin Porter Jr., these are both guards who are super athletic, super quick, and Jalen Green fits pretty seamlessly in it. Jalen Green has a lot of high goals in his rookie year. He says he wants to win Rookie of the Year, and also more interestingly, he says he wants to be first team all defense in his rookie season. This is a pretty bold claim for himself, given that he hasn't really been regarded as the best defender. But the fact that he does have these such high goals for himself, I think it's nice to see. And hopefully this is something that he uses as motivation to develop his defense, because right now that's his main weakness, is his lack of ability on the defensive side of the ball. And I think if he can use this as motivation to improve his defense, I don't think anyone's going to complain, and I think it's going to make him so much better of a player and have a much higher ceiling than what he's projected to have right now.
Yeah, and Jalen Green in his interviews, he's always been talking about the defense. And obviously the biggest thing about him is his scoring, but the fact that he keeps talking about the defense and how he wants to improve there is really nice to hear, and shows that he's going to put in the work to really improve that. And from everything we've heard, he has a really great work ethic, and I definitely feel like he's going to be at the very least average defender when like some years into the league, and I think he can definitely reach that. And he seems like the type of guy, if he puts his mind to something, he's going to achieve it. And Jalen Green says he wasn't as ball dominant in high school, which allowed him to work off ball and from the corners. And that was one of his main concerns from a draft profile. Like some people had concerns about Jalen Green playing off ball, and he didn't do that as much in the G League. But he has shown flashes of being a good catch and shoot player. And I think he can definitely do that, and he can coexist with KBJ as the primary ball handler.
And with Jalen Green, he says that Jalen Green says that he has decided that he doesn't want to work out for any other team besides the Detroit Pistons and the Houston Rockets. He said that he feels like he is the best player in this draft. Again, a continued show of confidence for Jalen Green, saying that he does believe that that's a team that he feels like he's not going to go lower than second overall. And it seems like either he knows that we're going to take him second overall, meaning that we've already said something to him about us taking him, or he feels like he's going to be the second best player in the draft or the first best player in the draft and be taken by the Detroit Pistons. But again, this level of confidence that he knows that he's not going to drop below two, again, a continued show of this quality in Jalen Green. He's always been a high confidence guy. He's always believed in himself a lot. And he continues to show that in his decision to pretty much not work out with anyone besides the Houston Rockets and the first pick Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, Jalen Green said that he wants to be the first overall pick, and I think that's a great mentality for any player to have. That they think that they're the best player, and like you said, the confidence of Jalen Green, it's really reassuring. And I think that also talking about the draft promise, it was reported that the Rockets not the Rockets, but a team on July 7th gave a draft promise to Jalen Green, and so a lot of people were speculating would it be Detroit or Houston. And it kind of seems like with all the information we've gathered since then, that Jalen Green, that Houston could have been the team to give Jalen Green that promise. But yeah, just crazy to see how it's all worked out. And now there's only 2 days left to the draft. And Jalen Green on the Houston Rockets, he says, I think they're a young team. I think they have great players. They can get out fast, get out and run. They seem like a free team being able to play off reads and in transition. And yeah, I think that's kind of obviously we're in a rebuild. So most of our players besides John Wall and Eric Gordon, who seem that they're going to be who seem to be on their way out. This team is very, very young compared to our championship runs. But we do have great players, and I think that's Silas's philosophy: get out fast, get out and run, and being able to play off reads and transition. So Jalen Green has been overly positive about the Rockets. So it seems like he's excited to be here, as we all are about him too.
I think Jalen Green, whether you want him or not on the team, it's his talent level. It's just too much to pass up on. With all that he brings to the table and his scoring ability, he's going to be an instant impact in the league. And I think that what he brings to the table with his scoring ability and also his potential on defense, he clearly is committed to improving on the defensive side of the ball. He says he wants to be first team all defense. And while I really do doubt that he's actually going to be first team all defense, I think that commitment and that goal to want to be a elite defender, I think he's going to put that to work, and he's going to work on his defense. And I think he's going to be maybe an above average defender, probably not ever going to reach an all defensive team. But if he can even become an above average defender and he can, not be a defensive liability in the clutch, I think that's going to be more than enough to, bolster his ceiling by a significant amount. And that's something that it's really exciting. If you're a Rockets fan, the fact that his main question has been, will he be committed on defense? And the fact that he's saying this stuff, I think it's more than enough to be optimistic as a Rockets fan. Even if you didn't want Jalen Green from the get-go, which I was a part of that camp that didn't want Jalen Green originally, it does seem like Jalen Green is going to be the pick. And if it is the pick, I don't think I'd be complaining. I really do like a lot that I'm seeing out of Jalen Green, his scoring ability, and it seems like his commitment to develop his defense. I'm optimistic on whoever we draft. I think whoever we draft will be a star player. And if it is Jalen Green, I'm very optimistic. He brings a lot to the table that I do really like. And I'm excited. Even if we do take Jalen Green, it's going to be an elite pick. And I think he's going to be a very, very good player.
And Jalen Green also says that the G League is steps ahead of college in terms of preparing you for the NBA. And I think there's a discussion to be had. Obviously, some people have mixed feelings about the G League, whether it's the right path. It's definitely obviously not the it's the non-traditional route. Obviously, the convention is to go to college, and college, there are a lot of pros in going to college. You get a lot of publicity, especially from the NCAA tournament. With March Madness and everything, that definitely improves your stock, as we've seen with Jalen Suggs having a stellar performance there. And so I think so there is definitely a conversation to be had. G League, you can argue that it has the NBA 3-point line. You go against bigger guys, guys who have been in the NBA but been cut or been sent there to develop more. So obviously the level of competition could be slightly higher than those in college. So Jalen Green could have a point here where he says that G League is steps ahead of the college in terms of preparing you for the NBA, and that's nice to see that he's going to be more NBA ready than these other prospects.
Yeah, and again, with all of this, his comparisons to Kobe and MJ, the fact that he really idolizes those two of the greatest players to ever play the game, and the fact that he's shooting guard, all of this kind of ties in pretty well. And I think Jalen Green, while it's pretty much a super long shot that he ever reaches Kobe or MJ or any of those guys, I think the fact that he has them as idols is absolutely huge for him, because one thing that both Kobe and MJ did was play elite defense. And Jalen Green, if he can use that and also use his commitment to develop on the defensive end, I think that's really the key. That's going to be the X factor for Jalen Green. If he can develop his defense, that's going to make such a big difference in his ceiling. Because right now, a lot of people looking at him as, Zach LaVine, Bradley Beal type. But if he can develop his defense, you're looking at, someone who could be easily a top 5 player in the NBA. And, with a two-way threat of him already being a super elite scorer, he's a bucket. He's basically the definition of a bucket. And if he can also develop his defense, it's going to be super, super scary. Teams are basically not going to have a way to deal with Jalen Green from the get go. He's going to be super hard to guard on offense. And if he can develop himself on defense, it's going to be one heck of a scary pairing with the backcourt with him and Kevin Porter Jr. It's going to be incredible to watch.
Yeah, just thinking about Jalen Green's ceiling is just crazy to think about, like what he could potentially be, easily a top 10 player, top 5 player. I feel like that could be a ceiling. Jalen Green, he's just really athletic, and being such a talented scorer, the ability to contort his body to finish a tough basket. Um, I think it will be very exciting. And I think one point to note is that I think this is the first time we're going to get a guy who is going to be idolized by media sources like Bleacher Report, Sports Center. We're going to have them posting highlights of Jalen Green. And it's been a long time since we had like the media praise a guy like us. I mean, we've had this narrative that the media hates Houston, but I feel like with Jalen Green, that's definitely going to change. He's already been a popular guy before this whole draft process. And if we were to draft him, I think we'd get a lot of media attention, a lot of positive media attention. And I think that's something nice to see as well. Yep, and that's pretty much it for the video. Let me know your thoughts on these quotes from today. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.